All right, for Wednesday, Bible, Acts 15 through 18, which is the second journey. I've got three videos here for really what's 15 and 16. And if you'll notice, 15 was on the last one too, but there's part of that we need to make sure we still explore and test on and so on. So let me start with the map for this first part. And that is, I've got a word bank up there. This should be one that you downloaded too. First of all, there's a little mysterious one here. Just don't worry about that. Okay? Now, when Paul and Barnabas came back from their trip, their first one where they went this way and up and then back again, they were told, hey, we heard that you're talking about not sticking to the full law and stuff. So then they go to Jerusalem, they talk to the believers there, and then they come to the agreement, okay, you know what? These Gentiles, they don't have to stick to the full Mosaic, that means law given to Moses, the full Mosaic law. Jews can still do that, but Gentiles, we're going to make, so they send them back with a note that says, you got to stick to three things. No eating food that was dedicated to gods, because that was their ritual thing, that they want to get them away from those false gods. No eating meat from strangled animals. Also, that's one of those rituals that they did to please their gods. And then stay away from sexual immorality, which has several connotations. But yeah, keep yourself pure. And so then, Paul and Barnabas were going to take off, and they had a disagreement about John Mark. Paul thought he was a wimp that bailed on him last time, and they had a big disagreement, so they split up. Barnabas goes off to Cyprus again, and Paul chooses Silas, so Paul and Silas take off from Syrian Antioch, and instead of going by water, they go up and around here, okay? Now the first place that they come by is Cilicia. That's an area. All these rectangles with the rounded corners are all considered areas, okay? And then they cruise around and they get to the city that was the furthest city actually on their first one, and that's really the first one that shows up for a city on their second journey, and that's called Derbe with a D. And then they go to Lystra, and in Lystra they pick up Timothy, and Timothy is from a mixed family where the mom is Jewish and the dad is Greek. And by the dad being Greek, people would know that Timothy was not circumcised. Okay? You might say, well, that doesn't seem like a big deal because we kind of got rid of that being a necessary thing. True. However, since he was half Jewish, Paul said, hey, Timothy, maybe you want to become circumcised and show that we Jews are still sticking to the law, but not that it would save you at all. And Timothy agreed, and that leads us into the conversation that Paul was trying to be all things to all people. If you read in 1 Corinthians 9, verse 19 through 23, Paul mentions that. And it's a real charge to all of us to not just look at people who are unbelievers or who are struggling and say, well, just be like me. Just be like me. Just do it this Christian way, as if you have all the answers. What Paul says is try to be all things to all people. Meet them where they're at. Talk about them. Converse with them about their things and struggles that they have. Don't just always pull them your way. Go and meet them. And that's what Jesus did as well. Don't be so judgy. Now, then they cruise around different areas. They go up to Iconium, to Pisidian Antioch, so I and P-S, Pisidian Antioch. And then, I don't see that it's here, but there should be one here that says Galatia. This one is Phrygia, P-H-R-Y-G-I-A. And they're cruising around Phrygia and up to Galatia. And then it says the Spirit kept them from going to Asia. Well, this is considered Asia at the time. It'd be called Asia Minor, but down there, and that's where Ephesus is. And God says, I'll send you there later. And then, so they don't go there. And then they're trying to go up to Bithynia. I'll give it abbreviation, B-I-T-H, Bithynia. And the Spirit kept them from there. And then this is, kind of sounds like Asia, but Mysia. And they cross over that, they said, and go right to Troas. I'm going to put a T there, Troas. Okay, and in Troas, Paul has a vision of a man from Macedonia. I'm going to just abbreviate with MAC, Macedonia. And this area includes all these towns, Macedonia. That's where Alexander the Great was from. But the vision is of a guy saying, hey, come over here, come over here. Well, that would be considered going to Europe for the first time. Christianity getting there for the first time. And so he wakes up and they sail to an island called Samothrace. And then they go to Neapolis. Neo would be Greek for new. Polis is always city. So anytime you hear a polis at the end, like Minneapolis, which mini would be the Indian word for lake, lake city. This is new city, Neapolis. But then the leading city in the area was Philippi. I'll put a P there, which goes right there to Philippi. And that's where he stays. And he baptizes someone for the first time there. And I'll do that on my next part.